Hey guys! Okay, so I've got a new camera now. I'm now using the Canon Rebel EOS T7i. So I hope this works well and the setup is working just great. So for today's message, we will be asking for a message from Spirit using the Return of Spirit deck by Cheryl. These are all by Cheryl Lee Harnish. Then the Divine Guidance deck, and then the Path of the Soul deck. These are beautiful fractal images which are just so poignant as our growing awareness and awakening as a collective comes to fruition, and with the understanding that we live in a fractal universe, that everything is a reflection of something else, which is continually and ongoing and forever. And I could go on with that for a while, but let's get the message out, shall we? Okay. Place those there, and place the Divine Guidance deck here for now as we shuffle to get our message from the Return of Spirit deck. This is my favorite. Bottom of deck is right. Top of deck is contact or frame of reference. Here we go. We got a candle of tranquility and peace burning here now. Very needed at this time for all of us. And here is bark from this very piece of wood from my own backyard. That after we are done with this, we will burn it in this glass container of joy and laughter. And so it shall be. Let's begin. Holy Spirit, be with us now. Fill us with your presence, that we shall receive your message, and that your message shall be clear, as your messages always are, but that they shall be clear to us in our understanding, that we focus now and breathe in and breathe out, ready to receive the information that you have to share with us during these times. Great challenge and opportunity. Oh, these two flipped a bit. I saw this one earlier. These two flipped. Don't you see? So, first on top, what is... I have a lamp here. Vibrations, vibrational. See that image? And then behind that, take flight. It's a lot of ascension energy going on right now, so making note of those two that flipped out. Underneath that, knowledge. So vibrational knowledge, which can enable us to take flight. And now I'm just curious. Top of deck at that point is intuition. You know what? Let's go ahead and one more shuffle. And then we will see what the message, or whatever Spirit says. Whenever you're ready, Spirit, and the cards are in place, we are ready to hear your voice, but not see your face. Be with us in our hearts, minds, body, and soul, as you always are, but we don't always know. Let us hear you and recognize the divinity within ourselves, separating from our fear and in love, divine truth. Okay. Bottom of deck, right order, which is like divine order. Top of deck, faith. Okay. Any other messages for us today, Spirit? Any other messages? Okay, any other messages for us today, Spirit? One more. Any other messages for us today, Spirit? Okay. Closing out, we have the violet flame, which is the 7th ray associated with Saint Germain. The healing light of transmutation. And again, we have right order at the top of the deck. So we have 2 cards that came out for us. The first one, oh, interesting. The first card is the card Worthy. The second came out. It's Fairy Magic. It's hard to see from here. So let me try this. I can't pause, so thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. These messages are such strong, powerful messages of grace, of joy, of uplifting words. So, let's see if you can see that. Worthy is the first card that came out. Can you see? Is there a glare? Okay. And the second card that came out, Fairy Magic. So, let's go ahead and read the messages that we have. I knew the card Worthy was going to come out today. Here we go. Ignore any of the noises in the background, please. And thank you. Other than the meditative music. So this is to all of us. This is to the collective. We are a collective of the loving spirits who have come to be in service to humanity in this lifetime. This strong desire and need to give to our fellow man, to each other, is embedded deep within our soul's blueprint. We play an important role in the cosmic plan. This card has come to you today as Spirit's way of giving you a much-needed reminder. That reminder is that we all hold great worth and value. That we can no longer question whether we are worthy or if we have value in this world. We all look to our physical world for confirmation, right? Which is being challenged to a degree now. We question whether we are good enough, whether we are wanted, whether we are needed. And we certainly aren't. We want the world to tell us that we are doing well and that it wants what we have to offer. But our value and worth cannot come from anyone or anything outside of you or I, outside of ourselves. And just as we are right now, in this moment, we are enough. You are enough. I am enough. Together, we are more than enough. I read that. It is time for us to begin to understand our own worth and value. Like, really think about that. Not in the terms of our value to the world, but in the terms of our value as spiritual beings who have agreed to be here now. And this is one of the most important times in history, and I'm speaking beyond recorded history to beyond the earth. Spirit is asking that we all, as a collective, start right now to understand just how important we are. Important enough to be here during this time. That's that's pro-level light worker stuff. And starseeds as well. Begin by asking, this is to all of us, begin by asking yourself, how much would you value someone who was as kind to you as you are to others? If you met a person whose inner heart was as caring and loving as your own, would you value them in your life? Now think about that. Whomever is watching, we all share this in common. So we should reach out to each other, be there for each other. And I'm speaking, this is me speaking from my own experience and my own acknowledgement of my own personal state and struggles, as we all struggle. Struggle is how we gain strength, and is how we recognize where and how we're needed. And right now, as a collective, we need to look to each other as the light workers, as the love bearers, as the kind-hearted, sensitive and genuine souls, talented, brilliant souls that we are, and appreciate one another, to acknowledge the worthiness in each of us, right? Even if you disagree on particular issues of the day, even if you disagree philosophically in one way or another, or you have a different approach than another, recognize the beauty of how, as a collective, when that's integrated, there's so much more power, because no one person can do it alone. At the time that Jesus was on earth, as an ascended master, as someone who changed the vibration of humanity from that point forward, there were 260 million people on the planet at that time. We are now approaching around 11 billion. So that's the level of compassion, of empathy, of unconditional love and forgiveness and grace that we as a collective are to bring to the world in order to carry that forward into the next era, the next aeon, so that we may continue to raise our consciousness collectively and encourage that as the new norm, ongoing. So if someone gave to you as you give to others, would you value it? It says here, of course you would. But sometimes we don't. We do value it, but conditionally. And I think the message here is that your worth, my worth, the worth of the collective is not to be valued conditionally, but unconditionally, as spirit, as a divine reflection, because we have the divine spark within us, and to acknowledge that, and within that we are absolutely worthy. So we need to see ourselves. We need to all see ourselves so that we may see each other, right? To see just how valuable each and every one of us really is. That our worth does not come from what you do or how you behave. That your worth, our worth, comes from the fact that you are part of God's source, the God source. You hear me? You hear? I'm here. Once you fully realize this, once we fully realize this, that once we fully realize the fact that we're all part of the God source, we will play an invaluable role in helping others, each other, and those who are yet to be awakened or who are just beginning to feel the seed within them of their spiritual journey and purpose and mission on this planet, in this life. To help others discover their worth as well. So you are worthy and loved. So I put it here. Yeah, we'll do that. So now we're moving on to the fairy magic card. So how does this relate? We are worthy. And then fairy magic. That one is a little bit odd to me that it came out. It's not one that I've always resonated with the most. However, it has come out quite frequently for me. It says here, fairy magic comes when we are feeling a bit run down and tired, or if we are taking life too seriously, right? So how much panic is going on right now, has been going on. Like, this is a serious time, but just because there's meaningful and then there's serious, you know, and this is a meaningful time and it's a meaningful opportunity, and we should have a degree of seriousness, but at the same time take joy in the opportunity to nourish the love within, so that it can be brought to the world, so that it can help change the world. Just because of what is inside of you, the rest of the world feels it. Even if you're in a room all by yourself, completely isolated, even if you're in the hospital right now and you're sick and not well, the love, if you have that love in your heart, it has healing power, 1. And 2, that frequency of love, just by the very individual experience of it, will raise the frequency of everything around you, of all the people around you, hopefully reaching some of our leaders, right? Because they're not in an easy position. So let's be encouraging that good and right, and what's right for all, the highest good, is what's being served from the hearts of those whom are in positions of power, and those who are in positions to have influence on those truly have influence, not just the voters, but you know what I mean. They're the lobbyists and the people who financial backers, who have influence in that way, right? So don't take life too seriously. Enjoy the magic. Enjoy the magic of this moment, because you're worthy of that too. And if we're so serious, it takes away from our worthiness. It's almost like we're trying to prove something, and there's nothing to prove. Just to live and acknowledge our own divinity. I mean, how fun is that? That's something to have fun with. Fairy magic comes to brighten the day. You can see the natural sunlight coming in here. So yes, it's a bright day. And to brighten it up even more, fairy magic has come. And it's also come to put some spring back into our step. Well, spring is here. We might as well have a spring in our step. Fairies love to play, dance, and sing. Woo! Okay, I'm not going to do all that right here because it's a pretty small frame. But if you want to pause and get up and dance around and sing a little bit, by all means, I encourage you entirely. Do it. I will as soon as this is over. So this is interesting. The fairies enjoy being in the company of their friends and love social gatherings. So be prepared for when the opportunity comes, or whomever you're in quarantine with. I know a lot of people get kind of, like, oh, I can't stand being in quarantine with this person right now, like it's too much. Just focus on fun. Just enjoy the time off. I know there are a lot of people who are doing that, and just really embrace it. And if you're struggling to embrace that, take a moment, take a breath, and let it in. I know where I live, it's so wonderful. It's like a joyous contagion. All the kids are out in their backyards playing, and having fun with, you know, their brothers and their sisters. And it reminds me of my childhood before there was so much screen time, right? So there's still opportunity to have these beautiful moments together, even though we are on a shutdown and lockdown. Don't take that too seriously. Don't over-isolate. Remember to connect to other people, that you can make phone calls, that you can use Google Chat, FaceTime, Zoom. There's all these different ways to still come together, and really just don't, like, let this be a time to remember how important it is to connect to one another and to have fun with each other, even if we can't organize things in the way we're used to. We're leveling up, right? So life is meant to be lived and enjoyed. Too much of the heavy stuff weighs down our energy. So to me, turn off the news for a bit. Get the information you need and then turn it off. Do what you need to do, then turn it off. Have you been working too much? Worrying too much? Have you been feeling fatigued or lacking a zest for living? Are you feeling the weight of responsibilities and obligations? This card may be talking directly to me because this is something I really relate to, but I know that I'm not alone, so I'll keep going. And if it resonates with you, that is wonderful, and I hope it's encouraging you the way it's encouraging me. If not, feel free to fast forward just a little bit, so for when we get to the next cards, just to put that out there. You could even be too focused on your spiritual and personal growth work. That's possible. This card will also come if you have been hard on yourself. This is something I am especially good at. Or trying too hard to accomplish a task. It's time to lighten up and be lifted up and enjoy life a little. So that goes to everybody. Just enjoy life. And if you already are, good for you. Keep on going. Get out and play. Turn up the radio and sing your heart out. Dance as though you were a teenager again. Roll in the grass. Buy yourself some flowers or go find some to pick or plant. Get dressed up and have a night out with your friends. Or just get dressed up because, well, I'll be darned if I'm stuck in my house and I'm just forced, get dressed up because it's a reflection of how you feel. And you're setting an intention that whenever this passes, this is who I am, this is still who I am, and this is who I'm going to be. Really embody the person you want to be, will be, whenever it's time to move forward. Set your intentions now. Just do whatever it is that will help reawaken the playful nature sleeping within you. This is all about restoring the youthful, vibrant, we had vibrational earlier, vibrant energy within. The elementals are here to assist you in grounding your energy back to earth, right? And to reconnect with nature and the animal kingdom. Got my cat Paris right here. As well as many cardinals right outside my window usually. They will help you rediscover your vitality, and you'll start to feel better and more like your old self again. You may just find this card will help you reinvigorate your intuitive channels in connection with the divine beings and spirits which are here to assist you. Namaste, Return of Spirit. Very well done. Alright, now we are going to move on to the divine guidance for the day. I haven't figured all of this out yet. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, I thought I could start and stop from my phone with this camera. I'm still learning it. So, BRB.